Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. 14-year-old Michael Morris safe after going missing in halfway tree. The police are reporting that 14-year-old Michael Morris of Winter Spence, Spanish Town, St. Catherine, who has been missing since Monday, September 3rd, has returned home. He is said to be in good health. As usual, the police gave no detail of what actually occurred. Morris was said to have been last seen in halfway tree, St. Andrew, before he was reported missing at the Spanish Town police station. Former worker implicated in Spanish Town courthouse fire for court Friday. Former Justice Ministry employee Romario Keith Gopal is to reappear in the St. Catherine Parish Court on Friday on charges of office break-in, larceny and arson. Romario's case was transferred from the St. Catherine Parish Court on Monday on a voluntary bill of indictment. The allegations are that on July 24, fire destroyed a section of the St. Catherine Parish Court office at Emancipation Square in Spanish Town. Investigation revealed that the perpetrator forcibly entered the building, stole monies from the safe, and set fire to the property to cover the crime. A probe was launched which resulted in Romario's arrest on suspicion of office break-in, larceny and arson. He was charged by the Spanish Town police following a question and answer session. Police identified targets in multi-million-dollar cocaine seizure. The Jamaica Constabulary Force says it has identified targets in their investigation into the multi-billion-dollar cocaine seizure at the Ian Fleming International Airport in St. Mary recently, though the police are remaining tight-lipped on the process of their investigation. The JCF, in collaboration with law enforcement from the United States and Canada, seized 1,000 pounds of cocaine destined for Canada on September 23rd. The seizure, made under Operation Relentless, was hailed. However, questions have been raised in the public sphere regarding a lack of address announced in connection with the seizure. However, during the JCF multimedia press conference, Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of crime portfolio DCP Fitz Bailey says the police will inform the public at the appropriate time.
Just to say that there's an end goal to this investigation and we will meet it. It's ongoing, as Commissioner said earlier on. We have our targets, and at the end of the investigation, the public will be brought up to date on its result.
Second man involved in Garfield Gate Bridge charged. The police have charged a second man who was seen in a video breaching the padlock of a floodgate to the backward gorge in St. Catherine. 52-year-old bus operator Cory Brown has been charged with malicious destruction of government property and unauthorized entry to a restricted area. His co-accused, Glenroy Denton, 45, who was also captured on video with Brown, was charged last week Thursday, September 29, with malicious destruction of government property. Denton was offered station bail in the sum of $100,000. Both men are scheduled to appear in the St. Catherine Parish Court on October 6. It is reported that the National Works Agency, NWA, ordered the closure of the Damhead floodgate on Monday, September 26 due to flooding in the gorge from the Royal Cobre. Denton and Brown are accused of breaking the padlock on the floodgate and traveling along the roadway. Brown expressed remorse for his actions in the September 29 interview with reporters. He claimed that he felt compelled to return home because his 4-month-old and 4-year-old children were ill and needed his care. Police Commissioner concerned about multiple murders trend. Commissioner of Police Major General Anthony Anderson raised concern about what he called a trend in multiple murders. Anderson disclosed that so far this year, there have been 99 such incidents, resulting in 218 victims. He noted that in September alone, there were 18 instances of double murders, with one case of a triple homicide, and a total of 39 victims. With Jamaica's murder tally currently at 1,171, the police commissioner expressed worry about the frequency of double murders. We believe that this trend is reflective of the ease with which more and more criminals have been able to acquire guns and ammunition, said Anderson at a multi-press briefing of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. Anderson also noted that in many of these incidents, including some where multiple persons have been targeted, some of the victims who were thought to be innocent bystanders were revealed through police investigations to have had close associations with the gunmen targets. He stressed that persons who have had close affiliations with criminals are at greater risk of becoming victims of gun violence. The Commission's warning comes on the heels of the Constabulary Force Operation Relentless 2 policing initiative, which was launched on September 23rd. Anderson disclosed that 106 people have been arrested and 20 illegal firearms have been seized under the initiative so far. Of those arrested, 34 were taken into custody for illegal possession of firearm and 7 for murder. Anderson told the briefing that Operation Relentless 2 is expected to continue into 2023, even as he urged law-abiding Jamaicans to cooperate with the police in cracking down on crime. As we apply pressure on the spaces in which these criminals operate, you may see strange persons turning up in your community. Do not allow them to get comfortable in your community. If you see something, say something, said Anderson. No court fined for JLP councillor Cory Douglas. Jamaica Labour Party JLP councillor for the Trafalgar Division in St. Andrew, Cory Douglas, has escaped being fined arising from being found guilty of disorderly conduct. Instead, she was admonished and discharged. In the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court, the 36-year-old politician was arrested in April 2020 and slapped with a charge of disorderly conduct and breaches of the Disaster Risk Management Act. It was reported that about 9:28 on April 7, Douglas was driving along Meadowbrook Avenue in St. Andrew when she was reportedly stopped by the police. It was further reported that while being questioned, she became boisterous and hurled abusive language at the officers. Douglas challenged the charges and was subsequently found guilty of disorderly conduct following a trial. The charge of breaching the COVID-19 curfew order was earlier dropped by prosecution after her attorney, King Counsel Peter Champney, argued that Douglas was exempted under the Disaster Risk Management Act and argued that she was on her way home after dropping off care packages. Douglas, however, got off lightly in the disorderly conduct charge after her lawyer begged Parish Judge Jacqueline Wilcott to admonish and discharge his client. Champney expressed that Douglas has learned her lesson and has matured. He also told the court that Douglas is a young politician who is passionate about what she believes is right, sometimes to her detriment, but that her heart is in the right place and begged the judge to be lenient. The judge, in response, said while she accepted that Douglas had started out with the best intention and that the situation went awry, told the politician that she must set an example as she is part of the category of persons in society who are seen as role models. Nonetheless, the judge said, "We all have a lesson to learn in how to deal with people and how to handle situations." In the meantime, Douglas is to return to court on Thursday for her trial on charges of assault and obstructing a police officer. The charges stem from an incident in Swallowfield, St. Andrew in February 2021, in which it is alleged that she obstructed the police while they were trying to arrest a man who was breaching the then 9 to 8 p.m. curfew and hit one of the officers in the back of the neck. St. James businesses charged for alleged plastic ban breaches. 12 businesses in St. James have been charged for alleged breaching the plastic ban. The businesses, which were not named, are to appear in the St. James Parish Court on Wednesday. The National Environment and Planning Agency says in September, the businesses were seen with commercial quantities of drinking straws attached to juice or drink boxes, as well as banned single-use plastic bags. Merjan Wallach, Director of Legal and Enforcement at NEPA, says the agency remains stringent in its effort to increase compliance with the ban on some single-use plastics and other environmental and planning laws. The agency is reminding the public that under the Natural Resources Conservation Authority plastic packing material prohibited order, it is in offense to import, distribute, or use single plastic bags with dimensions not exceeding 24 by 24 inches and 2.5 mils in thickness. The plastic ban on single-use plastics also extends to plastic drinking straws, plastic straws affixed to box juices, and drink punches with the importation, manufacture, distribution, and use of expanded polystyrene foam products. Anyone found in breach may be fined up to $50,000 and/or a term of imprisonment. NEPA adds that breaches involving importation of single plastics will be prosecuted under the Trade Plastic Packaging Material Prohibition Order, and if found guilty, the court may impose a maximum fine of $2 million and/or a term of imprisonment. Fisheries Authority to establish offshore radio communication system. The National Fisheries Authority (NFA) will complete the establishment of an offshore radio communication system for fishers and other navigators in Jamaica's waters later this year. Minister of State in the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, Franklin Whittle, said the system is intended to improve communication between fishers especially on small vessels and the mainland. Fishers are aware that cell phones are very difficult out of sea and pose a lot of challenges. Therefore, our small vessels need improved communication. This will allow all fishers from anywhere, such as the Pedro Banks, to contact the relevant authorities in case of an emergency or their fellow colleagues to improve business operations, Witte said. He noted further that the system will allow for improved border security and help to weed out malpractices such as illegal fishing. The state minister was speaking during a graduation ceremony for an inaugural safety at sea training program on Thursday, September 29 at the Caribbean Maritime University, CMU. A total of 35 fishers across the country were trained in navigation and seamanship under a memorandum of understanding between the NFA and the CMU with the support of the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries. During the graduation ceremony, the fishers were also presented with safety gear and communication devices. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click